Dr. Ado, let me stay with you. The president and the vice president in the course of this week came out and declared their assets.
Yes.
All kinds of meanings have been read into that, some being that this sets the tone for transparency. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, the president came to office on the basis of the three issues we said: one, corruption; one, insecurity; and then one, the economy. So I would like to, as much as I wouldn't want to, but I have to accept that the declaration of asset, the making of public of the declaration of asset, which the president did at the nick of his 100 days in office, has set tone towards getting public servants declare their assets and then be transparent. I should agree with you that it is very critical in his war against corruption, other than coming up with the issues of making investigations here, making investigations there, looking into the books, trying to get special courts in 37 states of the country, screening judges and so on and so forth. All these will come to nothing except if we lead by example. A leader must lead by example, lead by sacrifice, and lead by action. If you do this, then obviously those who you lead, must will key in behind you. If we call for sacrifice, we must be seen sacrificing ourselves. So I accept this position. The president has done well. The vice president has done well. Well, the president is just 30 million naira rich. I would like to have 30 million naira myself.
Well,
Okay.
Dr. Ado, he has earned salary since May.
Okay, Dr. Ado, thank you. Let's hear Mr. Paula. Mr. Paula, what do you think?
Well, I need to start with first and first. I'm not speaking here because I'm in Labour Party. I'm speaking on the part of the Nigerian people. If you go to my Facebook and you read what I wrote the day he came out as his presidential candidate for Labour Party, for APC, including what I said my mother did to me because of a Buhari, you'll understand that these are not issues for sentiment. It's still there. When a man says he will die for somebody and is in Labour Party, it means a lot. But that's that. We're talking about, and that's why I didn't...
Is that what you said in your Facebook page?
Oh, yes, it's there. It's documented. Somebody called me to remind me yesterday, fighting with me, that, I love Buhari, I did this. I said, well, why shouldn't I like him, and things like that. It took me back to what I wrote, that I would die for him. It took me back to what I said, but that's... Please check my Facebook. Long time. But the truth is this, madam. Let's not tell stories here. This story we're saying here does not affect the poor person on the street. Does not affect the fact that school for a normal human being is about 300,000, 400,000 in the sense, say, whatever, of this country. It does not affect the fact that endless people do not have food to eat. What we are saying here, that's why I didn't talk about the 100 days. We're talking about, look, thank God. You see, I used the word about him. I said a gentleman. He has said that the way it is. Half of whatever is happening now is a backlog of what somebody said. Give me another opportunity. The politicians have this funny thing. They'll be keeping those things for when they come again so that they can use it to shine. It has worked against the PDP. So somebody is taking the glory today. But he's a man that is fair, who has integrity. We're not talking about the president's integrity. Please let us know what we're talking about. We're talking about a direction. We're talking about blueprints. We're talking about a country of 170 million people. We can't all be corrupt. We're talking about a Nigerian project that is the father of the nation, not a sectional father. An involving system that takes everybody along. Those are the key issues here. Look, even the so-called security, people are dying endlessly. And like I wrote I've written the president twice. They will continue to die if they think they have lean army chiefs or whatever that goes to the war front, because the army chiefs, they don't shoot. I have told the president, for this Boko Haram thing, we don't even have a border. In most civilized nations, they have borders that when you touch, electricity will even catch you. You have not even secluded this space called Nigeria from the rest, and every man, I have lived in the north, my wife is from Sokoto. And I know how it is. Once you speak the language, you're part of the system. So we're talking about direction. That's the issue here. And he has said it. Yes, the president might be deliberate. And I said it the other time. I said, it is quite steady. Remember, I used the word steady. That's been objective. It needs people too, who perhaps are, like he says, that moves at an high, so that there can be a fair balance. Just like we're asking for a proportional, fair representation for the country.
Okay, we need to start winding down now. So let me put this question to Mr. Adesina, since you work with the president every day. People are asking for more engagement with the Nigerian people.
Oh, yes.
Nigerians tend to be saying they don't know enough of what is going on. One. And two, they want to see a clear policy direction, whether in terms of security, in terms of the economy, in terms of whatever it is. They want to see a clear, this is where I am taking this country. This is where I wish to take you guys. What are your comments? Are those requests too much?
No. But let's not forget that the president came on the platform of a party. That party has a manifesto. It's a direction. People don't bother to read those things.
Well, he's no longer a party man.
No,
he's now the president of Nigeria.
He's the president, but it still does not discount the fact that he came on the platform of a political party. He would, when he wants to initiate policies, he must first ask himself, what has my party said about this? It will always matter. So that manifesto is even a direction. But then a team is coming that will further break that manifesto into smaller directions. You will have an economic team, for instance. When the ministers come, there will be a number of them that will constitute the economic team. That will be clear. Like somebody said, 100 days out of 48 months. It's like a drop in the ocean.
Are we being too impatient?
I think impatience is part of it. It's part of it. And the president has said in September he will constitute his team. Today is September 5th. September has but 30 days. So why don't we wait?
Okay, we have to wind down. So let's do like a merry-go-round as we do a wrap-up, beginning with you, Mr. Obola.
I would have loved to end it.
No, you will start. We'll end with the public affairs analyst.
I am begging the president. In all sincerity, I keep with what he has said, but this is a bigger project. He knew what he was coming into. He understood the fundamentals. This is not time for story time. This is not time for slow and steady. This is time, the world has gone digital. We are not wrong expecting or having strong expectations. The dynamics of the world are in strong fundamentals. The president should wake up from his slumber, not because he has not been working, but he needs to move. He needs to set up, like he has said, one. That's major. Every other thing he has done has no meaning to the average man on the street. The economic blueprint. In more than an hurry.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Obola.
Mr. Yalo.
Well, the president has done well. He has shown where he belongs. You know, I remember one of his statements in Chatham House. He said, in terms of corruption, you will not ask where I belong. You know where I stand. He said, in terms of security, I, Muhammadu Buhari, I will lead from the front. We have seen that being done. And like Mr. Femi has told us, we all heard when the president said the ministers will be appointed in September. I want to say, let's give him the time, let us see it. Because he was the one we elected in the first place. Ministers or no ministers, when the chips are down, the buck stops at his table, he will be the one who will hold responsible. Nobody's talking about ministers today, everybody's talking about former President Jonathan. He's the one that will be held responsible when the chips are down. So rather than push him and push him and push him, this man is taking a deliberate action. I'm sure he has almost concluded, if he hasn't concluded, the audit of ministries. If you follow events over the past few months, all the ministries have come in to make representation. So you are seeing a man who is deliberate, who wants to understand what he's coming into. So that when the minister comes, they will have KPIs to work with.
I think for me, I'm looking at it from perspective Nigeria. And from Chatham House, before the elections, to the recent visit to the United States of America, I have seen some attempt to deal with the damage the average Nigerian has suffered in terms of perception, how they see us. I see a man, a president, trying to be a firm hand on everything that is under his watch. I have not lost hope that things will change.
Okay.
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 I believe very strongly that going forward, what we need to do, what the president needs to do more, is let Nigerians see more of him than his vice president.
Okay. Dr. Ado, your last word, please.
Yeah, I would like to say that the president should realize that his leadership in Nigeria is not just for Nigeria's benefit, but also for Africa. It is expected, given the support that not only the Africa supported his coming into office, but the international community, it is expected that the president must lead by example and give good governance. It is the only guarantee that will make him retain the support of Nigerians and then be able to lead Africa to come out of its own economic underdevelopment. And I have written a paper to this effect, which is going to be published tomorrow on Sunday Trust, commemorating the 100 days of this president's in office.
And finally, Mr. Adesina, your final word.
Thank you. I think in every country, believability is very important, particularly in the person that leads you. A country where you can't believe your president, I think, is a doomed country. It's a country that is imperiled. But here we have a president we can believe. If he tells you something, you can take it to the bank. He stands by whatever he says. He has made promises, and those promises will be fulfilled over a 48-month period. Let's just continue to go along with him.
Well, the quick fix.
I'm not losing hope. Let's join Mr. Egbas and not lose hope. Thank you all very much, gentlemen. Starting with Dr. Umar Ado, who is a member of the PDP in Adamawa State, who joined us from our studios in Abuja. Mr. Ayobami Oyalowo, an APC youth. Mr.
Digital team. The people are angry here that I'm not
APC digital team.
Okay.
Mr. Biodun Pokuola, a member of the Labour Party. Mr. Ken Egbas, public affairs analyst, as well as the special advisor on media and publicity to the president, Mr. Femi Adesina. Thank you all very much, gentlemen, for coming to discuss this with us this morning. Sunrise will return in just a moment with yet another very interesting conversation. Make sure you don't miss out.